Hey guys, I'm Tamar Mayer. Welcome to the Knockout Trader Dojo and our Market Unwrap series. Now in this series, I am going to take a look at current movers and shakers in fundamental news and their counterpart in the technical analysis world. And I want to see how they all stack up and if we can uncover any hidden insight within the charts. So the first subject that I want to cover is crypto, because we got a lot of interesting news this week on crypto. So on Monday, the SEC, which is the US Securities and Exchange Commission, they filed charges against Binance and its CEO. Now, Binance is the world's biggest crypto exchange, so quite a mover and shaker there. So the SEC is alleging that Binance has broke US security rules and has been operating an illegal security exchange. Now, they went further with Binance and they actually said that they're claiming that Binance has misled regulators and investors and mishandled customer funds. So that wasn't enough for the SEC, because on Tuesday they moved against Coinbase. Now here too they are alleging that Coinbase has been operating an illegal security exchange, though it seems a little bit less of a shady business conduct than what Binance has done or what the lawsuit says about Binance. So there's a lot of question that this brings, and the biggest one, or the one at the heart of this filing, is really what is a security, and are the crypto tokens that are listed on Binance and Coinbase are securities or not? So I'm pretty sure the definition of securities is going to be under the microscope. Now, the other question that I want to ask is why now? So could it be that the fraudulent behavior in FTX that basically only rose to the surface after its spectacular demise and collapse basically got the regulator on their back feet, and now they're looking at crypto exchanges? So that basically brings the question, where were the regulators before? But it also could be that because we do see the fall from the highs in crypto, the SEC is feeling maybe there's a bit of turn in the tide and the public will be a little bit more open to see regulation coming into crypto. Because I'm just guessing, when everybody are enjoying the party and making so-called easy money, it's going to be hard for regulator to come in and basically turn off the light and, kick out the DJ. So maybe that's part of that reason. But the next thing, once this dust has settled on this lawsuit, then we're going to ask the question how it will all end. Would crypto disappear? I find it kind of hard to believe. But maybe it will be something that is traded outside of the US, so something like CFDs. So for those of you who don't know, CFDs are contract for difference, and it's something that you cannot trade on the US, but pretty much almost anywhere else in the world. So the US is still using options more. Now, what also could happen is that there are going to be some legislation in the crypto world. So maybe that would be some of the outcome for that. But then you're going to ask, how will that affect the anti-establishment narrative of crypto? So lots of questions that actually come out of this SEC filing. But what I want to do now is take a look at the chart and actually see where we're sitting with the price of Bitcoin and with the price of Coinbase, actually. Let's take a look, and what I've got here is the daily chart. Now, we should note that Bitcoin is actually not the one that the SEC has listed as a potential security that is listed on Coinbase or Binance. So maybe it will be less affected by that, but I do think that when we're talking about the world of crypto, sometimes we tend to put everything under the same umbrella. And that's why we saw this big sell-off that happened on Monday when the SEC went after Binance. So what we can see, we actually broke two support levels at one go. So that is quite serious move on the market. Now, one thing to note is that while we did broke these two very strong support level, we actually haven't been able to come close to this 25 200 area. Now this is a very important area for me. As you can see, this was the last place that the sellers pushed lower here before pushing to a higher high. So the fact that we haven't been able to push below that area could show that there are still some buyers sitting at this area and willing to come back to this market. And as you can see, we had a complete rejection of that move. Currently a bit of a bearish candle so far for the day. But it is interesting that we have broke to support level, still buying momentum over here. For me, for being a bit more confident in a potential short here, I probably will be looking for the market to actually ping that level. Even if I'll get a pullback, that's okay. As long as I can see that the price has basically popped his head into that area. I want to see who's sitting there before that pullback is basically says, okay, there's a lot more sellers here. The sellers are gaining more power. But actually for now, what it tells me is that we tried to go lower, completely rejected it. So we might see some sideways still in this market. Now, if we'll take a look at the weekly chart here, then the weekly is in an uptrend, and the area that I'm really watching for potential moves higher. So if we break that certain area, it is this 33,000, and I'll show you why from the monthly point of view. But there's a lot of, let's say, barrier for the price before we get to that area. So first of all is the break of the previous swing high, but it's also also this bearish rejection candle as we push to a lower low. So while we were moving on the way down. So from the weekly point of view, we might just find some more buyers and try to push the price higher. Now, if that won't work and we start to roll over again, then I'll be looking more favorable towards the size of the short. Right now, it's kind of a look like they're having a fight, and I don't want to be in the middle of, you know, two big forces having a fight in between them. I don't want to be the one that getting bleeding in the middle of the ring there. Now, let's take a look on the monthly, and on the monthly, this is that level. So this is the area where the buyers were last strong. So from here, they were able to push the price. We had a bullish candle break above it, so a lot of buying momentum came out of that level. So if we'll be able to trade above this level, that looks to me currently like potentially coming back into buyer's territory. We're further away from that, but that 33,000 for me, it's kind of like an area where I might turn a bit more bullish. Currently on the monthly chart, it does look like we're having just a simple pullback here, but really to turn bearish, it's that 2,500 area that I'm watching very, very closely. Now, it doesn't mean, by the way, that the first break will be the one to go, because again, I'd like to see the market popping its head into that level. Just want to see who's sitting there, what's going on here before pulling back, maybe then compressions of price above that level. But I'd like to see some more activity. I want to see that the buyers are done. I want to see signs that they don't have anything else in them to be able to push the price higher. So at the moment, it's kind of in a sideways area for me, more bearish below that 2,500, more bullish above that 3,300. Now, I want to quickly take a look at Coinbase chart. So let's just put that in. And there we are. Now, you would see here on the daily chart that the filing against Coinbase, well, it pushed the price quite strongly lower, broke the previous lower low. However, if we look at it in the big scheme of things, and we'll see how this chart is faring, it's actually in quite a strong downtrend, and we're basically going sideways here ever since we reached that low around May 2022. So for a year now, we're just pretty much going sideways. So it looks more bearish than bullish at the moment, but keep in mind that this might see some buyers protecting that level or coming to defend that level. So from a chart perspective point of view, the filing of the SEC, it didn't do too much on the higher time frame. It still look bearish. It might be that, and this is something interesting that I've read about. It's that potentially Coinbase might come out of it a little bit better, because they were trying to work with the regulators, and they were trying to work out with the coins that are being listed, are they securities, are they not? There seems to be less of that fraudulent or kind of like shady business that the SEC was describing with Binance as there is with Coinbase. Coinbase is based in the US, and it looked like they were trying to do the right thing. I am not a judge there, but it's been very interesting. So I am watching the price action for this one, in case actually they might come out on top, and maybe the other one might, and they might lose clients to, or US clients to Coinbase. So the areas that I'm watching are around this high, so the 87.5 and 88. If we'll see some bullish moves and a break above this area and then a pullback into this 87, that will be a very nice, strong bullish signal for me. But so far we're still sitting here in that range. Obviously we could still go consolidate above this 32 and maybe potentially break it as well, but as I see it right now, we really are stuck in a sideways. Happy knockouts everyone, bye for now.